Today we're making a really basic drawstring pouch, and this pouch is about 9 centimeters wide by 11 centimeters tall. And you can adjust this pouch to be any size you want, and I'll let you know how to do that within the video. You can find the free written pattern at vivcrochets.com or at the link in the description below. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, please leave a like or comment to let me know. Thanks so much, and let's get started. For this project, I'm using about a total of 15 grams of yarn, and this is medium weight or number 4 yarn. And for the main pouch color, I'm using Karen Big Cakes in the color Rainbow Jellies. And I'll also be using Red Heart Super Saver in the color Aran for the drawstrings. I'll also be using a 5mm hook, some scissors, and a yarn needle. First, we're going to make a slip knot. And to make a slip knot, place the yarn over your hand with the tail end at the bottom. Then grab the yarn with your thumb and make sure you have at least this long under your thumb. Then grab the top and wrap it around 2 fingers to form an X. And you can hold it with your pinky and then grab your hook, go under one side of the X, and then over and grab the other side and then pull it through. Then remove your fingers and tighten the knot. And then we're going to chain. And to chain, yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook. Again, yarn over and pull through. So here are our first 2 chains, and we're going to continue chaining until we have a total of 15. And now we have a total of 15 chains, and this is about how wide our pouch is going to be. So here's one that I finished earlier, and it's about the width of our 15 chains. And if you want a smaller pouch, you can do 11 chains instead. And if you want a bigger pouch, you can do 19 chains instead. So once we have our chain, we're going to start double crocheting across the chain. And we're going to do our first double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. So here's the first chain from the hook. This is the 2nd, and this is the 3rd. And to do a double crochet, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into this chain. So go into the V and just under the top loop like that. Yarn over, pull through, and we should have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And then we're going to move on to the next chain, this one here, and we're going to do another double crochet. Again, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into this chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And we're going to continue doing 1 double crochet into each chain. So after going across the entire chain, we should have done a total of 13 double crochets. And now we're going to rotate this clockwise, and we're going to work on the bottom. So we're going to be working into the same chains that we just went into, just on the opposite side. So first we worked across the top of the chain, and then we're going to rotate, work along the bottom, and we're going to do 1 double crochet into each chain again. So first we're going to go back into that last chain we just went into. So we're going to yarn over, and we're going to go back into the last chain, So back into the same chain that our last stitch was in. And to get this loose end out of my way, I'm just going to push it over towards the right and hold on to it. And then we'll do our double crochet. So there's our second double crochet into this chain. So now this chain has 2 double crochets in it, one right here, and then the one we just made. And then the next chain is going to be this one right here. You can see we have 1 double crochet in it already. We need to put 1 more in the opposite side. So we'll yarn over, go into this next chain, and do a double crochet. And then we can move on to our next chain, which is right here. And we'll do a double crochet. And we're going to continue doing 1 double crochet into each of these chains. And then near the end, we're going to stop in this last chain. So this was our very first double crochet, and this is our last chain. These 2 chains right here, they're the 2 that we skipped earlier. We're not going to work into them. So we're going to do a double crochet into this final chain, like that. And we should have done a total of 13 double crochets on the opposite side of the chain for a total of 26 all the way around. And then we can finish the round by slip stitching to the first double crochet we made, which again is this one right here. So we're going to rotate it a little bit, and then at the top of this double crochet there's a V, and we're going to go under the V at the top of the first double crochet we made and do a slip stitch. So we'll yarn over and pull through, and then pull through the loop on our hook and tighten the slip stitch. And for this pattern, you want to make sure that you really tighten the slip stitch so it's really small. Otherwise, your seam can start to slant towards the left. So here is our first round. And if your round is curling up, make sure that it's curling down. So we're going to push it like this. So it's curling the other way. Like that. And then we're going to start working our second round. And to start every single round, we're going to chain 2. And then the first stitch of every round is going to be that same stitch that we slip stitched to, which is this stitch right here at the base of our chain. So we're going to yarn over and go back under this V at the top of the first stitch and do a double crochet. And then we can move on to the next stitch, which is this next V right here. We're going to yarn over, go under the V at the top of the stitch, and do a double crochet. Then we'll move on to the next and do a double crochet. And we're going to continue working around doing 1 double crochet into each stitch. And then it's kind of hard to see, but you can see we're coming back up onto our final stitch. So this one is our final stitch. and we'll do our last double crochet. So another reason for tightening your slip stitch is so that you don't mistake it for a stitch. So since our slip stitch is so small, we're not going to accidentally work into it. And you should have a total of 26 stitches in your second round, so no changes to the stitch count from the last round. And once you have the right number of stitches, and you can count using the V's at the top, we're going to do another slip stitch. And we'll do a slip stitch at the end of every round. And again, the slip stitch is going to go into the first stitch we made this round. So here is the chain 2 we made in the very beginning, and then here is our first stitch right next to it. And at the top there's a V that we're going to go under. We'll yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop on our hook, and then tighten it. And there is our second round. Now we can start round 3, and round 3 is the exact same as round 2. We're going to start by chaining 2, and then the first stitch of every round is going to be that same stitch we slip stitched to. So yarn over, go under that same stitch, and do a double crochet. And again, we're just going to do 1 double crochet into every single stitch. And at the end of the round, we're going to do our final double crochet. And again, make sure you don't go into that slip stitch. And you should have a total of 26 stitches again. And we're going to slip stitch to the first stitch we made this round. So here is the chain 2 we made, and then to the left of it is our first double crochet. At the top, we're going to go under the V, yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop on our hook and tighten it. And there is our third round, and we're going to continue repeating this round until we get the height of the bag we want, and we can start on the drawstring portion. So this is where we're going to stop after we have this height. And for mine, I'm doing a total of 8 rounds before I start the drawstring portion. But if you do want a shorter bag, you can do fewer rounds, or you can do more rounds for a longer bag. So here I've done 8 total rounds, and I'm ready to start the round for the drawstrings. So for our 9th round, we're going to chain 2 and do a double crochet into the first stitch. And then we're going to chain 1. And we're going to skip the next stitch. So we're going to skip this stitch and work into this stitch, and we're going to do a double crochet. So now there's a space like that. And we're going to repeat that. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, double crochet in the next. And again, chain 1, skip the next stitch, double crochet in the next. And we're going to repeat that until we have 6 of these spaces. And you should also reach the left side of your pouch, and we have 6 of these spaces. And then we're going to do another double crochet. So the left edge of your pouch has 2 double crochets, and then we'll chain 1, skip the next stitch, double crochet in the next. And we're going to repeat that until the end. And on this side of the pouch, you should also have 6 of these spaces, and that should have been your final stitch, and we can slip stitch to the first stitch of the round. So there is our 9th round, and we're going to do our 10th and final round. And we're going to chain 2, and we'll do a double crochet in the first stitch. And then we're going to do a double crochet into this chain 1 space. So yarn over and insert your hook into this space and do a double crochet. And then we're going to do double crochet into this stitch here. So yarn over, go into this stitch and do a double crochet. And then we have another chain 1 space. We're going to do a double crochet into this space and then into this stitch and into this space, and we'll continue double crocheting until we reach the left edge of the pouch. So after this chain space, you should have these 2 stitches, and we'll do a double crochet into each of these 2 stitches. And then we're going to do the same thing, doing a double crochet into each chain space and into each stitch. And after the final chain space, make sure you don't miss your last stitch. And then slip stitch to finish the round. And there is our 10th round. And now we're going to fasten off. And to fasten off, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to cut our yarn about this long. And then pull through with our hook and tighten the knot. So before we start on our drawstrings, we're going to weave in our loose ends. So take your yarn needle and take your loose end, thread it into your yarn needle. And then I prefer to weave mine in on the inside of the pouch. So let's flip it inside out. And we're going to move the yarn down. So go down under these loops to reach the bottom of our last row. So just go under any loops like that, pull the yarn through, and then make it taut, but don't pull on it too tight. And then we're going to go to the left under these loops at the bottom of our double crochets. Pull the yarn through, but don't pull too tight. And then we're going to go down again. So down under these loops of this double crochet. And we're going to go all the way down 2 rows. And then we're going to go towards the right this time. So under these loops at the bottom of the double crochets. And then pull it through. And then we can trim off the rest of the loose end. And then we just have one more loose end. And then we can start on the drawstrings. So here I have my yarn for my drawstrings, and we're going to make another slip knot. So again, place the yarn over your hand with the tail end at the bottom, and then grab the yarn with your thumb. And this time we don't need that long of a tail. About this long is fine. And then we're going to grab the top, wrap it around 2 fingers to form an X. Use our hook, go under one side of the X, then over, grab the other side, and pull it through. Remove our fingers and tighten the knot. And we're going to make 2 strings, and each string is going to be twice the width of our pouch plus a little bit on the end. So I'm going to chain 40, and if you want to make it shorter, you can do fewer chains, and you can do more chains if you want it longer. So here I have 40 chains, and it's about 23 centimeters long, and you can measure it against your pouch and make sure it's a good length. So it should be twice the width, and then plus a little bit on the ends. So like that, and then we'll cut our yarn, and it doesn't have to be long, maybe just an inch, and then pull through with our hook and tighten the knot. And here's our first string, and we're going to repeat that to make our second string. So once we have our 2 drawstrings, we can put them into our pouch. So first we'll flatten the pouch, and we're only going to work on the top half. So we're not even going to touch these back here, just on this first layer. And we're going to put our hook through these 6 spaces. Starting from the right, we're going to go into this space all the way on the right and behind this double crochet. So out the space to the left of this stitch. And then we're going to go over this stitch and then under this stitch. And then over and then under. So now it looks like this. And we're going to grab our drawstring and we'll hook it onto our hook and we'll pull it through. Like that. And then we'll flip the pouch over, and we're going to repeat on this side, but we're going to start from the left. So since I'm right-handed, I'm going to turn this upside down, and then we're going to start with going into this space all the way on the right and behind this stitch, over this stitch, behind, over, and then behind. So the same as the other side. Then we'll grab our chain, hook it onto our hook, and pull it through. And then we're going to make sure that the ends of the chains are even. And then we're going to put our second string in, but from the opposite side. So with these tail ends to the left, so not flipped, so they're on the right side, flip it so they're on the left side, we're going to go with our hook under these same 3 stitches. So like that again, and then we're going to take our string and pull it through. And then we're going to flip it and do the same on this side. So again, I'm going to rotate it and then go under these 3 stitches again. Take the other end of the string, hook it onto my hook, and pull it through. Make sure the tails are even, and now it looks like this. And then if you want, you can tie the ends together, so up to the chains, and then double knot it, but I'm going to leave mine untied, and I'm going to trim the ends. So I'm just going to line up the chains, and then I'm going to trim about an inch from the ends. And then I'll do the same on the other side. And now our drawstring pouch is finished. And if you want to close your pouch, just grab both ends and pull on them, and it should close. And that's all for this video. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Also, quick shout out to channel members Kayla, Taylor, Veronica, Casey, Allison, Eilish, Nadine, Joy, and Stacy. You can become a member of this channel and have these little yarn ball badges next to your name whenever you comment, and other perks such as member shoutouts, early access to new videos, discount codes from my Etsy, help with any of my patterns, and connecting on social media. Thank you again to all my channel members, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.